Hey folks, I'm Dale Davidson, the VA guy. Thanks for tuning in today. Hey, look, if you like what we're doing here, we're teaching you something, we're giving you some good ideas, please hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell so that when we do these videos, we do them each month, that you'll be notified. We really do appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We love our veterans and we love the spouses of our veterans also, because they're supporting our veterans too. So look, if you have any topics or have any questions that you want me to talk about, leave me a comment below or send me an email to dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com. So today's topic is burn, baby, burn. No, we're not talking about the Disco Inferno song, okay? No disco, okay? But we're talking about burn pits. So interestingly enough, now, if you go to burn some trash in your backyard, don't you have to get a burn permit? A few years ago, the tomato farmers around here, they used to burn the plastic. Can't do that anymore without a permit. But it wasn't until 2009 that there were any regulations telling the military what they could or could not burn, okay? So the military's philosophy is, hey, when in doubt, let's burn it. If we don't need it, let's burn it. Despite the extremely hazardous materials and the toxic materials that we're burning, let's just burn it. So if you served in the military, the chances are you were probably exposed to plumes of toxic smoke from burn pits, leading to potentially long-term and serious health effects. I'm holding in my hand a list of 95 forward air bases or forward operating bases that the military had over in Afghanistan and the East, Far East, detailing where these burn pits are. So if you want a copy, just let us know. Just for instance, here's one, Hope in Sadr City, Grizzly Camp Ashif, okay? There's a bunch, I mean, there's 95 of these things. That's again, burn, baby, burn. All right, so, and there was actually a huge burn pit in the Joint Base at Balad in Iraq, which covered almost 20 acres. They burned over 200 tons of solid waste every day. 200 tons. That's a pretty daggone big fire. So this burn pit in Balad emitted hundreds of toxic chemicals, exposing all those veterans and everybody who was surrounding there to highly contaminated air, okay? So these veterans experienced acute symptoms due to smoke exposure, red eyes, persistent coughs, and just irritated respiratory passages. So these toxics that have released from all these burn pits, or this Balad burn pit, had long-lasting and potentially severe health effects on those who were exposed to it. So what did the military burn? Like I say, they burned everything. They burned airplane parts, they burned plastic drums, they burned batteries. Try to throw a battery in a dump today and see if you don't get arrested, okay? Paint, fluorescent light bulbs, styrofoam cups. Remember when you were a kid, you were sitting around the fire and you threw a styrofoam cup in the fire? See how it kind of shriveled up and smoked, black smoke and all that? Man, that is the polystyrene foam material and all the toxins coming out of that, such as benzene and black carbon and carbon monoxide, all that coming out of that styrofoam cup. So never ever burn styrofoam. They burned electronics, they burned tires, they burned everything. So again, according to the military, when in doubt, if they didn't need it, let's burn it. So what was in all of this smoke? Well, they had particulate matter. So what is particulate matter? Okay, those are little bitty tiny droplets of dust and smoke and dirt and soot and things like that. That's what pollutes the air. That's probably when you see these pictures of these big cities in China or big cities like Los Angeles, and people are they're kind of covered in just blackout, not blackout, but a gray fog. That's the particulate matter there. Okay, so if inhaled, now that stuff gets down in your lungs and causes some severe problems. Okay, that includes some cardiac arrhythmias, heart attacks, asthma attacks, and other respiratory effects. That's why it could even cause death. So that's why you see a lot of these people in these big cities, when they have these smog alerts, they're wearing those N95 masks. Okay. By the way, those cloth masks that you see, they don't really work. If you're going to use a mask, use an N95 mask. Then they had the PAHs, which is the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A big word, okay? It's chemicals produced from incomplete burning of coal, oil, and things of that nature. So those PAHs, what do they do to you? Okay, they have long-term health effects if ingested, okay? Such as, they do cataracts, kidney and liver damage, jaundice. They can break down your red blood cells, okay? Now the big thing is really the volatile organic compounds, the VOCs, okay? You've heard of those a lot on the TV. So these are our man-made chemicals, okay? They're found in paints, pharmaceuticals, refrigerants. They're components of petroleum, oil and gas, hydraulic fluids, dry cleaning agents when you go get your clothes done at the dry cleaner, okay? So according to the EPA, long-term health effects of VOCs include, again, liver, kidney, central nervous damage, okay, and different forms of cancer, and just a whole list more. The next kind of substance we're dealing with are toxic organic halogenated dioxins. So these are known to persist in the environment, and they have harmful health effects, okay? They are commonly associated with herbicides such as Agent Orange. Everybody's heard about Agent Orange. That's the defoliant that they sprayed 20% of Vietnam with to kill the trees and shrubs to expose the enemy. So these are highly, highly toxic compounds that have some severe health effects, including cancers. They affect your reproductive systems, and they just have a whole host of damaging things, including damage to your immune system. So that list of burn permits that I shared with that past 95 there, that's not all of them, okay? That's subject to change. But if you were a veteran and you were over there and you were exposed, if you served in one of these areas, you were exposed, okay? So you may have some health issues dealing with that. If so, then you need to get on the VA's Airborne Hazardous and Open Burn Pit Registry to get registered. Okay, get registered. Now, the big thing about the burn pit is the burn pit legislation, that 2022 PACT Act that we've talked about a couple of times here. Okay, so back in August of this year, that was signed into law. So this bill offered much needed relief to veterans who were exposed to these burn pits. And what this did is that it added 23 new conditions to the VA's presumptive list for military toxic exposures to covered veterans. Being a covered veteran, you were in those areas. You served in the military in those areas and were exposed to these burn pit toxins. Okay, so you're a covered veteran. The bill defines covered veterans as the following. So again, if you were over there and you were in one of those areas and you saw the burning oil wells, you were near the burn pits, you know all about that. But they have some different rules here, some specific rules to make sure that you're eligible. So if you are a veteran who are on or after August the 2nd of 1990 performed active military We were Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, okay, while assigned to a duty station in Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, and United Arab Emirates, then you are a covered veteran. Okay, so if you are a veteran who on after September 11th, 2001 performed active military, service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, okay, while assigned to that duty station in any of the places above, again, you're also a covered veteran. But in addition to the places that I just mentioned, it also includes Afghanistan, Djibouti, I can't pronounce that correctly, I'm sure, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria, okay? Now you're an eligible veteran. So what does this presumptive list include? It includes a lot of different cancers. There's asthma, there's head cancers, neck cancers, respiratory cancers, gastrointestinal, reproductive cancer, lymphomas, kidney, brain, melanoma, pancreatic, chronic bronchitis, COPD, emphysema, and a whole list of other things. If you need this list, we'll be glad to send it to you. So, and hey, by the way, this presumptive list also applies if you're a surviving spouse listening to this video. If your veteran spouse was seeking retroactive DIC benefits for these service-connected disabilities. So we're talking about the particulate matter presumption. So how does it relate to burn pits? So on August 2nd of 2021, about a year prior to the enactment of the PACT Act, remember that was August of 2022, the VA announced claims for 3 respiratory conditions: chronic asthma, rhinitis, and sinusitis, I cannot pronounce that word, were to start being processed as a presumptive basis. So this particulate matter presumption extends to veterans diagnosed with those 3 chronic illnesses within 10 years of the qualifying period of service in Southwest Asia. So again, it's good to have a presumptive disability, because now you don't have to prove that service connection. If you were there during that period of time in those areas, it's presumed that you were exposed to those burn pits. If you have one of these list of ailments or illnesses or cancers, it's presumed that that illness, ailment, or cancer arose from your military service because of your exposure to the toxic burn pit. See how that works out? So we don't have to make that connection. It's already made for you. So we're halfway there on getting you your disability. So veterans who served during Operations Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation New Dawn after September 11th, 2001, again, you may have been exposed from burn pits, okay? And so the VA has, now they're beginning to process these claims on a case-by-case basis. To receive disability benefits for a medical condition, okay, caused by burn pit exposure, you've got to show the following. You've got to have the condition, the current disabling medical condition, one of those diagnoses, okay? You got to show that it was in service, that you were exposed in service. Well, if you were there during that period of time, we've got that presumption, okay? And then we've got to show through medical evidence and expert medical testimony connecting that disability condition to burn pit. But you've already got that presumption. So let's just show the condition. It's linked to your service, okay? And we're almost there. We're almost there. If you need any additional information on burn pits, you need some help with your burn pit claim or an appeal regarding your burn pit claim, please drop us a line. We can certainly give you some guidance and some help here. DearVAGuy@gmail.com, DearVAGuy@gmail.com. Again, we appreciate everybody out there. Thank you for our veterans. It's because of you that we are free and we're able to do things like this video and walk around as free people and have free speech. Thank you, spouses of veterans, because again, without you keeping down the home front, the veteran wouldn't be able to go out and do what he or she needed to do to keep us free. Again, if you like what we're doing here, if you're learning something, you have any questions, go again, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and so that you'll be notified every time we get one of these videos out. Thank you so very much for your support. We really do appreciate it. And until next time, you be blessed. Thank you.
No more whiskey, I'll have a Coke. Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe.